Disclaimer, everything I say in this episode is a joke, okay? Teehee. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Loose Thoughts podcast. It's been a while, hasn't it? Have you guys missed me? Because I've missed you so much. And I'm sorry it's been a while. It's taken a long time to make a new episode. And honestly, I have no excuse. I really don't. Have I been going through a mental crisis? Maybe. No, I'm joking. I haven't. But did my voice just crack? Sorry, I'm still going through puberty. No, I'm not. Anyways, it's been a while. How have you been? I've been spectacular. No, I wouldn't say spectacular. I've been good, I guess. These past few weeks, I've just been going through the motions of life, you know? This past weekend, I went to the city and I went to a festival with a new friend. And that was fun. It was nice. Um, I feel like I have things that I want to talk about, but then when I start clicking record, it's like all those thoughts leave my brain. Like, instead of loose thoughts, they're fleeing thoughts. On God. Like, I feel like I had so much to talk about. So much to talk about my week. So much to talk about my weekend. But like now my mind's blanking. I should write those things down. That's what I should do. So then when it's time to record, the thoughts are still here in my brain. But anyways, so for today's episode, I wanted to talk about something that I've been mentioning vaguely, not really vaguely, but I feel like it's been brought up, but I haven't really delved into the topic. So today we are going to be talking about, drum roll please. Can I get a drum roll audio? Maybe I can find a sound, but maybe I can find a sound bite. Did I just say maybe I can found a sound bite? My brain mixed up find and sound into found, but found is a word, so it just sounded like I don't know grammar. Anyways, maybe I can find a sound bite and put it in. Drum roll. If you hear me making the drum roll sound, then no, I didn't find a sound bite. Or honestly, I probably didn't look for one, if we're being dead ass. Anyways, today we're talking about Japan. We are going to be talking about good old Japan because I'm living in Japan. If you didn't already know that, you might be a little slow, but that's okay. I love you. Nonetheless, all the less doesn't sound right. I love you. Nonetheless, I think nonetheless is the right word. So yeah, I don't want to say where I live because I'm not trying to dox myself. Like, that's crazy. Wow, we're really just jumping right into the topic, aren't we? There's no filler. There's no precursor before jumping in. Should I talk about Pokemon again? You guys want to hear about Pokemon? So, Pokemon just released... No, I'm joking. But if we're being honest, Pokemon did release... Oh, there is one thing I want to mention. Pokemon, the TCG, the trading card game, just released a new set. What's it called? Black Bolt and White Flare. It's for the Generation 5 Black and White games, the Unova Pokemon. And that came out Friday, I think. This past Friday, June 6th. It's currently Sunday, June 8th. And Pokemon fans are greedy, even in Japan. So there's like this file set. I don't know what it comes with. What is a file set? I don't know. I think it's like a clear file. What is a clear file? I don't know. It's like a file folder type thing, I believe. And so there's a set that comes with a file folder, 3 packs of each set, so 3 packs of Black Bolt and 3 packs of White Flare, and then a promo Victini card. And if you guys remember anything from my previous episodes, Victini should be ringing some alarms because Victini's in my top 10 Pokemon list, and it's a full art promo Victini card. And I want this card. And so when it was announced that that was going to be getting released, I was like, oh, I'm going to buy this file set mainly for the Victini card because I want the Victini card and I don't just want to buy the Victini card by itself because people are going to be selling the Victini card for the same amount of money that the file set is going for. Well, to get the file set at the Pokemon Center, which I might talk about this later, but this is one thing I don't like about Japan, is that I had to apply for a lottery. Everything in Japan is a goddamn lottery, and I hate that. It's like a real life gacha game, and if you know me, I hate gacha games because I hate the randomness, I hate lotteries, like it's annoying. On one hand, I understand because if you don't have the lottery, then like things might get sold out faster or whatever. But at the same time, like I just want to be able to buy it. But anyway, I had to apply for a lottery. I lost the lottery. And so I was like, damn, that sucks. And I was just going to go to the Pokemon Center anyway and see if I could still buy it. But then I found out that they're only selling it to the people who won the lottery. And it wasn't like an online thing. And I was like, damn, that's annoying. I guess that makes sense. But maybe I'll be able to find the file set on like eBay or like Mercari or Amazon or something because I don't know. Well, to my surprise, people are greedy as hell. I found the file set on Mercari, on the Mercari app, because I'd be browsing Mercari. But the thing with that is, how I mentioned before that it came with 3 card packs of each set, so 6 packs in total. People are selling the file set without the packs. And I'm like, this is the type of greed they talk about in the Bible. Like, why are you buying the file set if you don't want the file set and like the promo card? Like, go and buy free packs. Go and buy the booster box with just the packs. Why are you taking away what other people wanted? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, why are you gonna go apply for the lottery, win the lottery, buy the file set, and you don't even want the file set? And I know I mentioned that I just wanted the file set for the Victini card, but I would probably have used the file thing, the clear folder, file folder thing. I use those at work. I put like worksheets and stuff in them. So I would have gotten use out of it. And mind you, people are on this thing selling it for like 5,000 yen. Think of that as like $50. And I believe at the Pokemon Center, they sold it for like 2,750 yen. So think of that as like 2,750. That's literally double the price. And it doesn't even have the packs. Like, that is the greed they talk about in the Bible. Like, that is so disgusting. And those resellers are going to hell. They're going straight to hell. So that's my rant for the day. Don't even get me started on the booster boxes, what people are selling those for. The Pokemon Center sells them for like 5,000 yen. I've seen, which is like $50. I've seen those on Mercari already. Mind you, this set came out Friday, 2 days ago. People are reposting those things for like 12,000 yen. That's like $120. Literally more than double the price. Like, and I think it's even crazier how resellers are in America and scalpers. And so Pokemon fans, they're going to hell because they're ruining people like me. They're ruining my life. So yeah, that's my rant for the day. If you are one of those resellers, you're going to hell. And let's delve into the main topic of today's episode. Okay? Okay. So, like I mentioned before, I am living in Japan. What am I doing in Japan? That is a great question. I want to preface now, from here on out, I will be using terms like ALT and JET, and JTE. I will explain what those mean. So, I am an ALT on the JET program, or I applied through. I never know what to say, and then I'll explain that now. Let me go through the process. So, an ALT stands for Assistant English Teacher. And the JET program, what does JET stand for? Like Japanese Exchange and Teaching Program? Something like that. I don't know. But anyways, so the JET program is this, because when you call it a program, it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like a college program or something, and that's not really what it is. But it's basically just like this organization that you apply through. They take people from several different countries. There are people from like the Philippines, from places in Europe. I think I've heard Singapore. Whoa, hold on. Did my mic just pop? Oopsies. Was it when I said Singapore? Going off of that, I'm gonna be getting like a little mic cover soon to hopefully combat the popping of the mic. But I think I've controlled it for now. Like, I think I've said some P's and it hasn't been popping. Hopefully, if it just popped when I said Singapore, or if it's literally popping now, I'm sorry. Anyways, um, yeah, so there are people from like so many different countries. I think I've only met most of the Jets that I've met, have been American with a few Europeans. Um, so when I say Jets and ALTs, those terms are kind of interchangeable because it's more or less the same types of people, same types of people, same person, whatever. So yes, you can apply for the JET program. You need a college degree. It goes through like the Japanese government and stuff like that. And then they send you to Japan to work for these schools, these boards of education as English teachers, basically. English teachers or like assistants. And so as an ALT, you are most likely working with a Japanese teacher of English, also known as a JTE. So when I say JTE, I'm going to be talking about the Japanese teachers that I work with. When I say ALT or JETs, I'm going to be talking about other people, other foreigners, other Americans. No, because they're not all American. Other foreigners that are in Japan working the same job that I'm working. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, try to bear with me. So, I guess I can first talk about like the JET program experience, like the application process and stuff. And I feel like the application process was pretty simple and straightforward. And honestly, I think of like the application process as like applying to a school or like grad school. Or so I say that I've never applied to grad school. What the hell? Or something like, or just like another job application. It's a little bit different from a normal job application just because there's only like a set window. So the JET program opens applications, I think, in September, and they close them in November. And I'm going off the American timeline. I believe the timeline is different for other countries, but this is specifically the American timeline. So in America, they open it in November. I mean, they open it in September, sorry, and they close it in November. So you have like those 2 months, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 3 months, to apply and get your business in. And the main thing for the application is that you have to write an essay called the Statement of Purpose. And a lot of people say that this essay is like what will get you the interview. So it has to be like a really good essay. And in the essay, I think you really just like talk about your experiences, like why do you want to go to Japan, why the JET program, kind of like stuff like that. Um so yeah. And then once you submit all that, you get an interview. And the interview is, I want to say, was pretty simple and straightforward again for me. it's like a panel interview. So you have someone from like the what's the word? The consulate? I don't know what that means. Like the government? What the hell is a consulate? Um, so someone from like the government aspect of it. So like I applied in Chicago, and so someone from like the Chicago consulate was there, and then you have like a Japanese teacher, like some I think they're in Japan. Someone in Japan, a Japanese teacher, a principal, someone, and then you have a person who has been on the program before, someone who has been in ALT in Japan before. So for me, it was those three. And then they just ask you normal interview questions like, tell me about yourself. What do you do in your free time? What's your weakness and what do you do to overcome that type stuff? And for me, I was like really nervous about the interview just because like, I feel like I'm a nervous person in general when it comes to stuff like that. But then B, it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like it was I feel like it was kind of intense, but then at the same time, like, thinking back on it now, I don't think it was that intense, but it's probably just like, "Oh, like, this is what's gonna get me in Japan or what's gonna not get me in Japan," basically. So I feel like when you think of it that way, it's a little stressful, but at the end of the day, I got in because I'm me, because I'm a baddie, because I'm never mind. Let me stop myself. But yeah, the one thing that I was really nervous about in the interview is that they do like a Japanese portion, which I just thought it was gonna be speaking, and I was like, fine, whatever. Like I know some Japanese, like it's probably gonna be fine. But who was it? I think it was probably the Japanese teacher. She put like this she started sharing her screen and she put this document up and she was like, "Read this." And I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "You want me to read this?" And I don't remember what it was exactly. It was something about fireworks. But there was like some kanji. Like I didn't get past like maybe like the fifth sentence because they were just like, "Oh, we ran out of time." But I was reading it and I like stopped and I was like, "I don't know this kanji." Then she was like, "Okay, that's fine, keep going." And I read some more and I stopped at another kanji that I didn't know. And I was like, "I don't know this one either." And and I think she just wanted me to like keep reading and like even if I didn't know the kanji, just like skip over that kanji. Um, but then we ran out of time and I was what's the word? I was like fixating on that part of the interview and I was like, "Oh my god, I did terrible. I'm not going to get in. I can't read Japanese. Blah 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 blah." And I was like, "This is the end of the world." Um, but spoiler alert, it wasn't cuz I'm here in Japan now. So then after that, you literally have to wait like so the timeline is application ends in November, and then you don't know if you get an interview until like maybe end of December, early January, and then your interview will be at the end of January. When was my interview? I think my interview was on like January 22nd or something. This was a Zoom interview for me. Some people like in different states, I think they had to go to an in-person interview, but mine was in Zoom. I don't know how they're doing it now, but mine was Zoom. And I know they changed to Zoom for like the COVID time. COVID changed everything. And then before COVID, for Chicago at least, I know it was in person. And then after COVID, it was Zoom. I don't know what it's like now. But yeah, my interview was at the end of January. And then I didn't find out if I got accepted or not until like end of March. I think I heard back March 24th, something like that. And then they send you like an email and then it was like we've chosen you as a shortlist alternate or not an alternate, a shortlist candidate, which basically means I got in. When you get in there's shortlist, alternate, and then rejected. Shortlist means like you're one of the first ones to go or like you're how can I say it? It means you're accepted. That's what it means. And then alternate basically means you're on like the back burner list. So if someone from the shortlist candidates decline or like can't go anymore, then they'll choose someone from the alternate. So like you're the backup basically. And the rejects, which that means you were not accepted, unfortunately. Sorry about it. So yeah, I heard that, and then you hear your placement like 2 months after that in May, and then that's when you find out where you're going. For the application, you can like put places, your preferences where you want to go. So you can choose 3 places. You can choose choose is in quotation marks because you can't really choose shit, but you can put on your application, I want to go to, I would like to be placed in Tokyo, Osaka, what's another place? Hokkaido. So say that's what you can put on the application. And then it'll be like, do you prefer urban placements or rural placements? And you can be like, I prefer urban placements. Put me in a city, please. And yeah, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean shit. And they will place you wherever they want to place you. Um, so yeah, and then you find out in May. When did I find out? May. I think it was at the end of May again. Because I remembered I found out as I was preparing for summer camp, my summer camp job back in the States. And we were doing something and I got an email and it was like, from the JET program, this is your placement. And I opened that and I was like, where the hell am I going? I'm not even gonna lie, that's what I was like. I was like, where the hell is this place? Um, but yeah. And then up until then, you have like a pre-departure orientation like the day before you leave. So I left not January, July 27th, July 28th, something like that. And so my pre-departure orientation is the day before that. And that's basically just them talking about, I don't know what the hell they talked about. They talked about like the flight situation and stuff like that. And then when you get to Japan, I had an orientation in Tokyo for 2 days, 3 days, 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. And then I went to my placement on Wednesday. And yeah, the Tokyo orientation is just like, we're sitting in a giant room with a bunch of people watching PowerPoints, listening to people talk. And then you have the evening free to go and do whatever you want in Tokyo, basically. So yes, that is what the whole JET program application and interview process was like. I will talk about my job now. And so, like I said before, I am an ALT, which stands for Assistant Language Teacher, which, why is it Assistant Language Teacher? We help teach English. We teach English. Shouldn't it be? I have seen the acronym AET used, but at least where I'm in, most people say ALT. Hold on. I feel like I'm talking so much. I need a break. Short intermission. Okay, and we're back. It wasn't a short intermission for you. It was a short intermission for me. I just got something to drink. I felt like I was talking so much, and I think I'm talking really fast. If you need to slow me down, slow me down. If you need to speed me up even faster, speed me up. Yeah. Anyways, what do I do? What is my job? So I help teach English. I teach English. No, I wouldn't say I teach English. Well, I don't know what I do. My role is kind of different. So I work in an elementary school and a junior high school. And my role for the two schools are a little bit different. So like my role in elementary school is a little bit different from my role in junior high school. And I guess I'll talk about what it's like in elementary school first, even though my main school is a junior high school, but whatever. We'll just go in not chronological, in like order of the ages of the grades. I don't know, whatever. So in elementary school, I usually teach with the 3rd and 4th grade and the 5th and 6th grade. Those are like all the time. And then at my current elementary school, I have the first and second graders every month, once a month. Um, and I go to my elementary school 2 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday. So on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have like all the third through sixth grade, and then on the Thursdays, I just have fifth and sixth. Excuse me, sorry, I had to burp and my phone vibrated. Um, so I read a text and it kind of threw me off. The person used the word grotesque, and I was like, where the hell you learn that word? Sorry. Anyways, so yes, for the third and fourth graders so when I first came to Japan in August of 2023, I was at a different elementary school. And for that school, the third and fourth graders, their homeroom teacher led the English classes. And so the homeroom teacher would like do the teaching, and then I would be there to be like, what would I do? They'd be like, say apple. I would say apple. That sounds crazy, but kind of like stuff like that. Like I'm there to like give them the English pronunciation, that type of stuff, conversation practice, that type of stuff. But in my past two elementary schools, the elementary school from last year, so then we change schools every April. So then from when I first got here, hold on, I'm really close to the mic and I think it made some noises, my bad. Sorry to my listeners. So in last April of 2024, I went to a new elementary school. And then for those third and fourth grades, I kind of took more of like that main teacher role. But then the homeroom teacher would still be there to like, how can I explain? Like explain activities and still kind of like be there to lead the class in a way. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like in my last elementary school, it was more like team teaching. That's a good word. So in my first elementary school, I was like there for support. In my next elementary school, it was more like team teaching. And then in my current elementary schools, I'm like the main teacher, especially with like the fourth graders. No, even with the third graders, like I'm literally, imagine me in the classroom, a bunch of Japanese children, third and fourth graders. Third and fourth graders are like what, 8 and 9 years old? 7? No, 7 is second grade, right? Because it's like 5, 6, first grade, 6, 7, second grade, 7, 8, third grade, 8, 9, fourth grade, fifth grade, 9, 10. No, that's wrong. Whatever. You guys will know. Whatever. I'm moving on. um So just imagine me in the classroom. What are we talking about? So like the fourth grade, we're talking about like weather now. So I'm like, how's the weather? It's sunny, it's rainy, it's cloudy, stuff like that. But then it's for like the activities and stuff. So with the fourth graders, the teacher that I started the school year with is not there anymore. I don't know where she went. She kind of just vanished. And I was like, ooh. This also happened in my last elementary school where like one of the teachers just vanished. She wasn't pregnant, so it's not like pregnancy leave. She's just gone. And I was like, where did she go? And so now I teach with the vice principal. And the vice principal, it's still not their homeroom teacher, which I don't know why, because their homeroom teacher speaks English. She went to Hawaii. She can speak English. Why is she not teaching English with me? Anyways, it's with the vice principal. And the vice principal doesn't speak that much English either. And so I'll like say something and I'll like want her to like kind of like translate it so the kids understand. Like if I can't translate it, but then like she might not understand what I said. And so it's like, ooh. But at least these last couple classes have gone really well. So I'm a genius. That's the only explanation, is that I'm a genius. Um, but yeah, usually I'll like make a little lesson plan outline and I'll give it to her so she'll know what to expect. If she reads it, I don't know. She might not read it, but in my head, she's gonna read it before class. and like know what to expect. I've noticed like in during class she'll kind of like follow along on like the outline like whenever I'm transitioning to a new activity. Um and I mean the class level, it's like simple enough that like I can translate stuff, and like my Japanese is like at that kind of level where I'm able to like do some stuff, but then at the same time, I'm standing up at the class, I'm like, what's an example? I'm like, open your textbook, and then look at me like I'm crazy, and they're like, open your textbook? What does that mean? No, I'll like motion, open your textbook, and like they'll open the textbook, stuff like that. Same with the third graders. The third grade homeroom teacher, he's there for like support too, but I'm definitely more like the main one. Um, and kind of similar with the fourth grade. It's gone okay so far. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's hope it stays like that because I don't want to go crazy, but it's fun. And then with the fifth and sixth graders, their homeroom teachers are like the main teachers, and then I'm just kind of there for like the to say English, to read the texts from the textbook, to practice with them. Whenever they have like an assignment or like a presentation assignment, I'll watch their presentations and I'll grade them, stuff like that. So yeah, that's my role in elementary school, and then in junior high school. It's like, I don't wanna say it's really different, but it's not too different. So and also depends with the teacher, because at my junior high school, there are 4 different English teachers, 4 different JTEs, and each JTE kind of uses me in a different way. So the first JTE, I was just gonna think of like a what's the word? An alias? A name to call her. I don't want to use their real name. First teacher, I'll call her Miss Y. Miss Y, she teaches the first years of the junior high school. And then when I go to her class, I'm usually there to like make an activity for the class. So like recently we played Jeopardy and they were learning like the 7 W's. Is it the 7 W's? Who, what, why, when, where, which, and then how. So you had like the 7 question words, and I made a Jeopardy with that, and then we played that. Before we played like an English music game type of stuff. So whenever she asked me to come to her class, um, I'm there for like to make an activity. And then another first year teacher, another teacher that teaches the first years, her name is Miss F, which I haven't gone to her first year class because they're split up. So say for the one class year one, class one, for English, they split that class in half. They split it in half. And so Miss Y teaches one half, Miss F teaches the other half. And I usually go to Miss Y's half. Um, but yeah, literally Friday, she was like, oh, my half misses you. Like, can you come to ours? And I was like, yeah, of course. But like, y'all talk to that. Like, I don't choose where I go. You guys tell me. Um, but yeah, so I haven't gone to Miss F's that many times. Then when I was with her class, she usually just had me like read the textbook, and then low-key, I think that was it. But then, like I said, I've only been to her class once, so I can't really gauge how much I've been, because, oh, that scared me. Hold on, let me mute Discord. I need to mute Discord. Okay, sorry about that. Discord is muted. Um, oh, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I can't really gauge how Miss F wants to use me because I haven't been in her class that often. Going on to Miss, what do I want to call her? Miss M. She teaches the second grade, the second years. And she'll use me kind of like a mix of the way Miss Y and Miss F uses me. So she'll have me like read the new words on like flashcards out of the textbook. I'll read the textbook. Um, if she wants like an activity, she'll ask me to like make an activity or like what we should do in class. I'll do like pair stuff with the kids. if like someone doesn't have a partner and they need to do like speaking stuff, then I'll like jump in and do it with them. Um, so yeah, and then Mr. T, he teaches the third years. I also have, hi- I was gonna say I have history with Mr. T, but that sounds a little sus. But at my first junior high school, when I first came here, he was one of the teachers there, and then this April we both got switched to this current junior high school, so I'm working with him again, which is really nice because we have a good relationship. He has invited me to like family functions before, like barbecues and stuff with his family. So that's really nice. But so we're working together again, which is really nice. And then he will like, how can I explain? He does classes a little bit differently from the way the other teachers do it. But like when I'm with his class, it's kind of just like a lot of talking. So I'll like talk with the students a lot. He does like these little warm-up games, which is just like a question, kind of like a question of the day. So at the beginning, he'll be like, "Oh, what was the question this past week?" I can't remember. Oh, so he'll be like, "So which would you want to go to, the past or the future? Ask your partner." And then we're like, "Okay, let's ask Zion. Okay, ask me." And then kind of same with the second years. In the third years, if they don't have a partner for that warm up, then I'll like talk with them and do the warm up and stuff like that. And then when it comes to like the actual like textbook stuff, he'll have them do like presentations, and then sometimes he'll like ask me to like make a presentation too, and then I'll show them the presentation, and then they'll do presentations, and then same with like pair stuff. If no one has a pair, then I'll jump in and do it with them and stuff like that. So it's not too difficult. Sometimes outside of class, they'll ask me to like grade papers or like check their writing on like worksheets and stuff. So yeah, pretty simple, straightforward stuff. I would say it's really fun. I really like it. I like talking with the students. They're all pretty funny. Um, I'd like to think that I have a good relationship with the students and teachers. They're all pretty fun. Recently I've been seeing a lot of the students outside of school. And the fact that they'll like come up and like talk to me, or they'll like wave at me or like whatever, is nice because it's like, oh, like I think that kind of shows that we have like a good relationship. Like they're comfortable enough to like say hi to me in public instead of running away. But it's also like crazy. Like I can't go anywhere without seeing a student. I literally went to, like I mentioned this in earlier in the episode, I went to a festival in like the city. And mind you, the city is like an hour and a half train ride away. I saw students on the train and I was like, God damn, like I can't go anywhere. Um, but no, it's nice. Like literally I told one kid my birthday, and then he literally wrote my birthday on his desk, and he was like, Zion's birthday, July 14th. And I was like, that's a little weird, but whatever. Okay. You fuck with me, I fuck with you. We homies. Um there's another one. So I wear like an Apple Watch to work, and then the face, like the picture on it changes. It like cycles through pictures. And so one kid, like whenever I walk past him, he'll grab my wrist and then tap my watch and see what picture comes up. And then if it's like, how can I say? If it's not like if it's like a real life picture, like a picture of like me or like my friends or whatever, he'll be like, "Who is that?" And I'll be like, "Shut up, don't touch me. Focus in class." So that's funny. And then like I mentioned with the teachers, most of the teachers this year, like I get along with them, but like obviously we've only been working together for like 2 months now, so we're not the closest. We're not like best friends, obviously, and we've only been working together for 2 months. But then with Mr. T, we have a really good relationship, like I said. He's invited me to barbecues and stuff before. And we've been talking recently about playing the Pokemon TCG together, like battling together. So I ordered some English decks, and I'm waiting for those to come in the mail. And then I'll message him and I'll be like, okay, let's battle. And then with some of the teachers from my elementary school, one of them, he collects Pokemon cards too. And so we talk about that. and then I want to battle with that teacher and then Mr. T. So hopefully we can get together. Um, and then when it comes to like my work life, um, I'd say it's pretty good. I feel like one thing about Japan is that like their work culture is like crazy compared to like American work culture. Um, but that's not really for me because I'm on like a contract and like the contract is like, oh, like I can only work from like 8 to 4. And so I come in at 8 and I leave at 4. There are some exceptions. So like on Fridays, my junior high school has English club and then I'll stay after for English club. So then I'll leave it like closer to 6, but then that's not really work. I don't know. But then also for me, like I don't have like the same duties as like a fully fledged Japanese teacher. So I'm not like I don't have to work like crazy overtime or like stay super late or whatever. So no, I like come home, I go to work. It's fine, pretty normal. Um on my like Google Docs, I have Jet Program Idiots. Do I want to talk about that? Hmm. I this cuz I still have like more stuff I want to talk about, but this episode is already pretty long. I feel like it was kind of boring though. Like it wasn't as goofy as my other episodes. I feel like I'm just kind of like lecturing. Um okay, so this would be the juicy part. Um I will talk about the Jet Program Idiots. And then maybe I'll do another part. Or you know what? Let's just have a super long episode. It's been a while. This episode, ooh, it's already at 42 minutes. Let's try to keep it under an hour. Okay. So, for the Jet Program Idiots, this kind of goes this is about like other jets and other ALTs on the program. Or I shouldn't say the program, or I don't know, whatever. Other jets and other ALTs in general. The ones that I've come across in this prefecture online and whatever. And I hate to say it, but like a lot of a lot of them are stupid. Bro, that sounds so mean. Oh my gosh. I'm going to hell. I'm literally going straight to hell. I won't name any names, but a lot of them are stupid and I can't take it anymore. I literally can't take it. Like, I'm gonna go crazy one of these days. Literally, I'm gonna crash out so hard. You might see me on the news. And like, I gave one example of the Reddit in a previous episode, of someone like, are curtain bangs allowed? And it's just like questions like that, like constantly. Like, literally recently, there's a Discord for like all the jets in my prefecture. And so since it's like the time for new jets to start coming, there are new people in the Discord and like they're just asking such silly questions. Like the other day someone asked, they were like, "Are we allowed to have candles in our apartment?" And I was like, "Why wouldn't you be allowed to have candles in your apartment?" Like and like part of me is like I understand, which I also don't know. I feel like I've talked about this. Did I talk about this on the podcast? Did I talk about this in the same episode with the curtain bangs? If I did, I'm sorry. If I didn't, then yeah. But part of me is like, okay, like I kind of understand why they're asking because like college dorms, you can't have candles. But then if you were to like think about it for like 2 seconds and be like, oh, well, I'm not living in a college dorm. I'm living in my own apartment. Or in some cases, some people live in houses. Um, and in my own apartment or my own house, I can have a candle. So it's just like, and I feel like that's a lot of cases for like a lot of the people on this program is that they just lack common sense and critical thinking. And I think that might just be like a pandemic, like all over. Should I say all over the world or is it just America? Because I feel like you see it a lot on like social media too. It's just people lacking critical thinking skills. But then like it's like those people are on the internet, so like actually coming into contact with these people that lack critical thinking skills Is that the word of the day? Critical thinking skills? Like seeing people actually lacking those, it's like, what the hell? Like we are adults with college degrees, and you're sitting here asking if you can light a candle in your apartment. Or like that other girl, you're asking if curtain bangs are allowed at work. Curtain bangs. I'm sorry, I'm just so hung up on the curtain bangs thing. But then another example is that these same people, they're like, oh, like, what should I put in my introduction? Like, how long should it be? Like, hold on, let me find the exact message, because this was recent. This was like a few hours ago. Um, they were like, in terms of self-intros, will that be covered when you get to Tokyo orientation? Or does anyone have any tips on how long it should be, stuff to include, and is it English? Like, what? What? Oh my gosh. What? What? Of course your self-introduction is going to be in English. You're an English speaker and you're teaching English class. Like, let's put our thinking caps on. And then in the terms of like, how long should it be? Like, why are you asking us? When you get to your school, your teacher will tell you how long they want your introduction to be. They'll be like, oh, can you make it 20 minutes? Can you make it whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like how long, or in fact, they might even ask you how long will it take? And they will form class around you. And so, I don't know. It's just a lot of situations like that where it's like, if you stop to think for 2 seconds, you'll have your answer. I don't know. Maybe I'm jaded, or maybe these people are just stupid. Tell me what you think. Am I a terrible person? Please tell me. Because I like genuinely want to know. Because if I'm a terrible person, then I need to do some like self-reflecting. I need to go to therapy. This is my therapy. You guys are my therapy. So thank you. But then it's stuff like that. And then it's stuff with like the other ALTs in my town. And they're just so annoying. I'm going to say it, they're annoying, and they make me want to shoot my brains out. Oh, that was violent. Can I say that? That was a joke. It was a joke. That was literally a joke. I'm going to put a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. Literally, the disclaimer is just going to be for this portion of the podcast is where I'm just like talking shit. But no, literally. And then the fact that like so many of the other ALTs are like kind of annoying, it makes me like sad, because I live in like a rural area, and then so like there's not that many people. So it's like if I want to go out and hang out with people, it would be with the other ALTs, but they're so incompetent. I can't take it anymore. And so I don't hang out with them. And so yeah, that was kind of like my next little topic, like living in rural Japan. And how do I do that? Okay, no, yeah, I was gonna keep talking about the ALTs, but let me not, cause I should be the bigger person. I shouldn't I? Actually, no, fuck them. No, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Like another example. So I'm the area leader. So I'm the leader of all the ALTs in my town, basically. Use leader as a loose term because I'm not really leading shit. The purpose of like the area leader is to like plan events and then maybe like welcome the new people when they get here and like help out the new people. And so I just became the area leader in April, and the new people haven't come yet. So I haven't had to fulfill my duties as an area leader essentially yet, basically. But so I'm trying to plan an event for the people that are leaving, because our contracts end in July. And so if you don't renew, then you leave end of July, early August. And so I'm trying to plan an event for the people that are leaving. And so I send an email to the people in town, like the other ALTs in my group, the people whom I lead over. I send an email and I'm like, hey, Here are some restaurants I'm interested in for having this goodbye party. Let me know what restaurants you want. Let me know what days you can and can't come, blah, blah, blah. And whatever, more information about stuff that I feel like I should cover as an area leader. Do you want to know who responds to this email? 3 people. 3 people respond to the email. Do you know how many people are in my group? 10. 10 people. 3 out of 10 people responded to my email. And it's like stuff like that. I sent this email a week ago. It's been a week. I can complain about this now. They've had more than enough time to respond to my email. And it's like stuff like that. It's like, if you're not going to respond to my email and help me out, why the hell am I trying to plan an event for you? Why am I pulling my hairs out trying to find a restaurant that accommodates everyone if you're not going to respond to my email? And one of those people that responded, they said, oh, I'm not going to be in town from like the 18th to the 22nd. So, yeah. He didn't say anything about the restaurant or anything like that, which I shouldn't complain too much. He gave me when he wouldn't be available, whatever. But it's just stuff like that. And I know these, I almost called them bitches. I know these bitches are always on their phone at works because some of the other Japanese teachers have complained about them. So what does that say about them? What does that say about them? They're crazy. And yeah. Tea. I'm joking. Everything I say is a joke. Don't come for me. Low key. Have I said too much? Is this going to get me canceled? Guys, don't cancel me. Do you think they're going to listen to this? Anyways. Well, we're at 52 minutes already. Do you guys want to hear about living in rural Japan? Is that interesting? Okay, this will be the little segue, the little subplot. So I live in a little rural town. It's not the most rural, but it's still not a major city. It could be 100 times worse, which I have recognized and I have thought about. But it's still rural. Like, there's not shit to do here. And so, what do I want to talk about? There's a lack of local friends. So like all the friends that I have, they live in the city, which I mentioned before is like an hour and a half away by train and by car. I can't take an express train and get there in like 50 minutes, but that express train is like almost $30. One way, almost $30. Can you believe that? And so I would rather just take the hour and a half and take that train for like $9. It's like 1,200 yen, which if you convert that to US dollars is $9. But for me, that's like $12. So, but yeah. And like, if I could, I would. Like, low-key, these past 2 weekends, I went down to the city to hang out with a friend. So like, it's possible. But then also, like, the train ride is so long. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm still grateful to be able to go and hang out with my friends. But not every weekend I want to ride the train. Like, sometimes I just want to stay at home, So yeah, like, I just wish they were friends in my area. And then also, how do I make friends? And so when I first came to Japan, I downloaded this app called HelloTalk. And it's basically like a language exchange app, which there have been I have some things to say about HelloTalk, but HelloTalk is what it is. I have met a lot of really great people on HelloTalk, and I consider some of those people to be my really good friends, so I am really grateful to those people. I have also met some crazy-ass people on HelloTalk, and then I feel like naturally you're gonna find they're called gaijin hunters. Gaijin is like a term for foreigners. Low key, I think it's a slur. So don't go around calling people gaijins because some people might not like that. But this type of Japanese person is called gaijin hunter, and they are like the type of person that's like, oh, I hate Japan. Japan is think if you know what the term weeaboo is in like America, think of like gaijin hunter as like an American weeaboo. A weeaboo is like someone who is deeply obsessed with like Japanese culture, and they might be like not even Japanese culture. 9 times out of 10, it's just anime, and they're like, oh my god, I wish I was Japanese. I should have been born Japanese. Blah blah blah. Think of gaijin hunters as kind of like that. They'll be like, oh, which Japan does have its problems. I will say that. But the gaijin hunter will like amplify those problems and be like, oh, Japan is so this, Japan is so that. Like, I really like America. I want to go to America. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I want to be friends with like Americans, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Which I mean, whatever, you do you. But I have come into contact with those people, and they're like, "Oh, like I really like hip hop. I really like rap, like R&B, blah blah blah." Like if you get what I'm putting down, then you like understand. And like I don't know, I feel like that puts me in like a weird position, cuz especially like when I first came here, I was like, "Oh, like I do want friends." And so I would like interact with these people, but then at the same time, it feels kind of awkward, especially cuz they're into like how can I say? I don't want to say niche, but like a lot of times they're into like black culture and like a very like specific kind of like black culture. And then I'm not like that. Does that make sense? So I feel like they like they're into like that gang bang. That sounds so bad. But like no, cause that's how they act. That's how they are. They like literally one guy. Oh, he was so weird. But he like wanted to be like a little thug. And I was like, first of all, you're Japanese. Like, calm down. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you talking like this? Why are you acting like this? Relax. And then it's just weird for me because like I'm not like that. Like I don't really like listen to hip hop. I don't listen to like that kind of rap. Like the rap I listen to, like I'll listen to like Rico Nasty, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and they're talking about like Young Thug and like stuff like that, Migos, stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't listen to that. Like I don't know what you want from me. And so I try not to find those people. Occasionally, I don't use Hello Talk that often anymore, but like I have gone back on there recently because I kind of went through like a little lonely phase, I guess, if that makes sense. Where I was like, well, like I want to like hang out with people more. I want to go out more. And so I went on the app again and I I bought VIP so I could like search for people in my area that also use the app, and like so that way it could be easier to meet up with them because a lot of the people that I have met on the app, they live in like Tokyo or Osaka, and like I can't go to Tokyo and Osaka all the time, so it's like, yeah, these people are nice to talk to, but like I can't hang out with you on a normal basis. And so yeah, I got VIP to see people in my area, and I found a couple of them. The guy that I hung out with this past 2 weeks, I met on the app, and that's been fun. Um, but yeah, where was I going? Some people, I'll like talk to them. I'll be like, oh, like what are you into? Like, what kind of music do you listen to? Blah blah blah. And once they'll be like, oh, I like hip hop, I like rap. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me press the brakes. Like, let's stop right here. Like, we're done. But then it's also like, I have heard that a lot of people use it as like a dating app. And so there was one guy, I like messaged him because I think he was nearby. I don't know if he was in my town, but it seemed like he was nearby. And I was like, oh, I messaged him. And then on the app, you have like message boards, or not message boards. You can basically make tweets, basically. That's what they're like. and he had tweeted, he was like, I want someone to help me with English. Someone talk with me in English. And I had like responded and I was like, oh, I'll help you, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's talk. And then he like messaged me and he was like, I'm looking for a girl to teach me. And I was like, oh, I was like, this is awkward. But then you get like a lot of people like that. Um, which like kind of sucks because I like I want friends. Like I'm looking for friendships and like you have these people who are only trying to get some, which is it's to each their own, I guess. I wouldn't use Hello Talk for that. But yeah, and then obviously you have like the weirdos, like the weeaboos, the weeaboos too, and the gaijin hunters and all those crazy people. But like I said, I have met a lot of great people on Hello Talk, and I consider a lot of them really good friends now, and I still talk to them, whether it be on Instagram or I message them online. Um, Excuse me, I just burped again. I hope you didn't hear that. But yeah, so that's kind of how I combat it from being alone in like my town. I like find people to talk to. And then when I travel, I like meet up with them. Um, but then when it comes to like being in my town, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to do. I'm really hopeful that because we have a lot of ALTs leaving, I think like five, literally half the group. And so I'm really hoping a lot of the new ones are chill and cool and have common sense and aren't annoying so I can befriend them and like hang out with people in town. Even if like cuz one thing I do like miss is that with my friends in the States, my besties, like you know who you are. Like we wouldn't even have to like go out and do something. Like we could just chill at like someone's house and like watch movies, sit on our phones, play games together. And like I kind of miss that. Like I don't have anyone who I can just text and be like, "Hey, like want to come over and just like watch movies, play games or something?" Or like anyone that I can go over to, like go over to their house and just chill. And so, I don't know. I wish I could fill that void. You know what I mean? So I wish I had like someone like that I could do that here with. Did that make sense? I feel like that was just word salad, what I just said. But yeah, I still talk with them on Discord, and I feel like that's how I kind of combat the loneliness usually. Like if I'm like after work or whatever, then I'll hop on Discord with one of my friends who's always up at ungodly hours. But or I let me preface this and say, which is kind of crazy. I'm saying this at the end of the episode. Not every ALT in my town is an incompetent human being. There are a handful. Should I say handful? There's like two. They know who they are. I don't even know if they listen to the podcast, but if you do listen and you made it this far, just know it's not you, and I cherish you. They know it's not them because we talk shit together, but I just want to preface that. Um, but yeah, shout out to those people. Shout out to my friends back at home in the States on Discord. I love you guys, and you guys keep me sane. And I think that is all for today's episode. Um, yeah, if you want to hear any, I feel like there's so much that I could talk about Japan, but I don't want to like fall into like that cringy trope of like, oh, foreigner in Japan. Cause like I've thought about like making TikToks. Even my mom has said, oh, you should make TikToks. And I'm like, make TikToks about what? And like that market is so saturated. But I don't know. I've been meaning to make like a TikTok that's like, oh, here's what I eat in school lunch every week. But like I always forget to film. So like by the time school lunch comes, I'm like starving. And I'm like, I need to eat. But yeah. Maybe I'll get around to making that sometime. Um I kinda want to talk about like traveling and like cultural differences, like things I miss. So maybe I'll make an episode about that. Um but yeah. Oh, one thing that I did want to talk about, and I think in the last episode I mentioned the student teacher at my junior high school and how I wanted to talk to him. I didn't talk to him, and he left now. So he's not there anymore. Oh my gosh. Oh, did you hear that? At 11 o'clock, my Siri tells me to go to sleep, and that just went off. It scared me. I should, like, whenever I'm recording, I should, like, mute this stuff. Like, why? Like, that's so unprofessional. I'm not trying to be professional. If I was professional, I don't know, my mic wouldn't be popping. And that's tea for another day. But okay, thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. I will try to get another episode out as soon as I can. And if you made it this far, I love you. Thanks for listening. And tell your friends. No, I don't know. See you next time. Let me know what I should talk about. Bye-bye.